A ton of new updates and intel comes to Once Human. That brings us to a new developer live stream, an official blog roundup, which includes those 4 new deviations and a full detailed breakdown of what they actually do. On top of that, we have the collaborations with Palworld finally coming to fruition, and new updates and quality of life changes to the Deviated Secure scenario, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up, world? It's Utopia here, back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things Once Human. Let's just jump right into it. First off here, we did have the recent developer live stream. We'll break that one down and then kind of collaborate it into the Once Human official blog roundup. So they do go over some key dates here, which the first one, October 30th, is the Deviated Secure when that scenario does launch, and the new aircraft system goes live. Covered that in a previous video. We will retouch up on those things though. They do also mention during the stream that they're running the Deviation Training Master World Championship, which has the ranked regional and global there. That's going from October 13th to December 12th. And just quickly here, there was a stream freebie for 2000 Starchrom, which was this code here. I'll have it down in the description as well. That way you guys can just snag that one, copy and paste it into your redeem stuff. I'm sure most of you guys know by now, or at least have seen some intel on the Deviated Secure scenario. They readdressed everything here. If you want to pause and read through this, you can, but we already basically know most of these things or have seen these things. The 2 new things coming to the Deviated Secure, as well as the game in general, are the new deviations though, and the Palworld crossover. So to go over those quickly, those have been updated now, what they actually do. So the first one here is the Whale Pup. Now the Whale Pup can essentially transform and swim fast while drown hitting enemies, essentially dealing increased damage and immobilizing them, creating that nice CC. And pretty cool here, they actually do convert the area into an underwater world, where you'll be able to see inside this world, and you'll also deal increased damage. So very cool there, and some nice cool animations. Next up here, we did have the Soul Summoner. Now, the Soul Summoner can essentially mark targets via a summoned bird, what they're calling here a Phantom Firebird that deals massive damage to enemies. You could see this nice area effect damage throughout that. And yeah, even for my last video, of course, I kind of guessed that there was going to be some sort of summons with this ability here, or with this deviation. So we are seeing that come to fruition. Third up here, we do have that Zapamander. Now, this is the one that we had some footage of and kind of what that was going to entail. Well, they do break this one down further, where the Zapamander actually does have a lightning aura. It will boost your sprint and offensive utility. Again, we had some visualizations from my last video, but now we even have more here. You could see here that it also deals electric damage to nearby enemies, so you can see sort of some of its combat ability, other than being able to make you sprint very fast. Last up, but not least here, is the Director Fox. Now this one is actually a territory deviation, where the rest were all combat deviations. The cool thing here, he actually deals with the speed and growth of taming, and even the higher likelihood to have chance of twins. Essentially when you are doing the taming stuff there. They do mention that the taming expert effect actually can stack to a certain limit, but it is disabled while you're offline. Now, weirdly enough, they don't actually disclose if it has any combat ability. In the Deviated Secure scenario, you pretty much can use nearly every single deviation in combat. I'm not exactly sure what would kind of this one entail, or if it's disabled for that factor. We'll have to wait and see on that. They don't really outline if there is anything there. Now, speaking of those deviations, we of course had the Palworld crossover. They are going to be doing a crossover island with mini events, where you're picking up transformation cookies and you become a featured creature. They're going to have some rideables and emote packs also tied with this, and even a boss chase trick or treat drop for the island events, a party mode or server-wide dance floor, with additional party games, postcard contest, and some free rewards that you can earn, which isn't locked just to the deviation scenario. So just so you know, this is obtainable and doable on all of the scenarios. And you can see some of the teaser imagery for that new island as well. That wasn't all the changes that are coming to Once Human though. We still have some stuff to cover with the Deviated Secure there, but I do want to go over to Endless Dream, and what they're calling Endless Dream 2, or a post-season phase 2. So they are doing changes to that scenario, so you guys aren't left out just yet, those who do play Endless Dream. They have a new dynamic invasion system with small, medium, and major, or essentially what they're calling easy, normal, and hard from the dream zones. As you progress, those are going to get harder and harder. They do recommend using explosives now for this scenario, and to watch out for morph drops, radiant, violent, or even the lone wolf whispers. They have a new territory furniture or mechanism here called the Dream Door, which you can feed wakeful sand and get supplies from, and then track the internal haunt objectives. And don't worry, if you're on a new or old Endless Stream server, that content will be fed to you directly. So we'll be updated on both the old and the new Endless Streams. Of course, as I mentioned previously, we got some new imagery for the aircraft land-air hybrid. That one does come alongside this update here. They do mention it has near 360 maneuvering and even multiplayer seating. Passengers can shoot mid-flight for both PvP and PvE scenarios, which again, I do believe they're only kind of pertaining to Raid Zone. From the previous articles, they didn't mention Prism versus Clash or even Evolution's Call, so I do believe those two scenarios won't have the potential or possibility to build this aircraft. You could also jump out mid-flight, so essentially getting a ton of verticality there. Moving on and kind of moving back to the Deviated Secure, but also just quality of life and balance roadmap. They did actually recently update the matchmaking arena balance. That's essentially for Deviated Secure. It's now going to tie in your level and win rate there to kind of help with the balance overall. They also did tie in some stuff from the building, the comfort upgrades that are coming. They also did give a little bit of a tease for the future map.
I saw a question that he want to open the world map. Yeah, he want more new map. Can you talk about something about the new map?
We give it already a little lore
maybe a little lore.
Yeah,
little lore, yeah.
There is going to be a little more, and especially like for
lore is about the west part of Nalcott, and it's about ocean and islands.
yes,
I did saw it in your screen.
Yeah, the underwater content.
Please, I want to keep my job, but don't ask more. Okay.
It just like in the plan. Okay.
But I did see something new, very fantastic in your screen. So we are hoping that we can bring more detail to our meta soon, right?
Yeah.
Which is the West Nalcott, and that's the ocean islands in the pipeline. They do still mention there is a console release planned, but that there is no date as of yet. I would imagine maybe sometime in 2026 or even early 2027. I do believe that was kind of the original rumor anyways. Speaking of the quality of life changes there actually was changes to Deviated Secure. Now this is called differently in the global versus CN. Here in the global one, we do call it Deviated Secure. In the CN client, it's technically translated to non-standard containment. So if you ever see that in the translated articles, that's essentially what they mean. They did do some symbiosis updates here. Max level is now 10 from 5. And the new anomalies will actually scale to your symbiosis level. So they have the capture level matching now, which should help out a ton with progression. Some decent fusion changes here. There is now no longer a seasonal global cap on the chaos anomaly acquisitions. If you've ever seen in the vendor, it actually had like 50 of 50 server limit for some items, especially those chaos mutations. Yeah, those have now been removed and basically anybody can get those. They've also done some nice combat and quality of life changes here. The AI priority has been clarified to taunted, marked, then to your target, to damage source, and the hate table they're calling it, or the kind of threat table there. They've also lowered a bit of the enemy density at overworld outposts. Another major one here is they actually did remove the elimination penalty from heat stroke or hypothermia. This one is for Deviated Secure only though. That's still going to apply in the Way of Winter and other scenarios that do have that area. But in Deviated Secure, we actually did have Way of Winter section and they kind of removed that penalty there. That way you don't have to deal with that, as it is quite hard to actually make those supplies to deal with the weather stuff. Seems like you might still be slowed down though, or still get some of the negative effects. So pretty cool there overall, and some really good changes to Deviated Secure. Last up here, they did fully tease off the new Lightforge loot crate. They're calling this one Lightning Rally, where they do show off the female variant here with the full headwear and full outfit overlay. The male variant is also shown here with some wings being showcased on the back. And they do showcase off the idle animation and emote that you can use with this outfit. If you didn't know, the Lightforge Loot Crate outfits actually do have their own idle animation. You can also use it as an emote anytime. So they just kind of showcase off the one here. That wasn't all though. There is a new vehicle skin, which I know are highly sought after. This does seem like for the car, sedan, or Mustang variant, which actually shows some deviations pushing it, so kind of a funny nod at the Deviated Secure scenario. Overall, it should about cover for today's video. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and until the next one, deuces.